Hey guys, welcome back to Yoga Lab TV. My name is Erica and today I'll be taking you through a couple of stretches that you can do with the wall. So go ahead to find yourself a wall, maybe a yoga mat, and I'll see you there. So start by coming into a malasana, into a squat. Having your feet slightly wider than the hips, with your toes turned out at the same direction as your knees. Bring your bum to the wall, and then bring your upper back towards the wall. And just let your hips drop down towards the floor. And you can either just stay here, or you can bring your arms onto the inside of your legs and use your hands to help you open up the knees. And this is a really great hip opening exercise that helps you to go deeper with the use of the wall. Or maybe usually in a squat, you tend to need to lift your heels. So sometimes using the wall is a great way to deepen your squat without needing to lift your heels because you have the wall behind you to catch you. So remember to ground down into all four corners of your feet. Spread the inner thighs wide, keeping your back pressing up against the wall. And just letting your hips drop down towards the floor naturally, allowing gravity to do the majority of the work. So just staying here for 3 more breaths, maybe widening your knees even further apart. And 1 more breath. Cool. And just press your hands into the wall to make your way out. And then from here, we're going to come into a forward fold against the wall. So what you'll need to do is first bow forward with your back facing the wall and your toes facing the wall as well. Keep your feet about hip distance apart. Tuck your chin into your chest and let the back of your head roll into the wall. And then stretch your arms out to the side. And this could be just enough for you. Maybe you already feel the stretch at the back of your legs. But if you'd like to go deeper, then bend your elbows, slide your head further down the wall, and then start to walk your feet in. You might need to bend your knees. It might be a little bit fiddly. That's fine. So starting with your knees bent, and then you kind of inch your upper body down the wall. So I kind of like extend my head and then bring my shoulders down. Extend my head, bring my shoulders down. And then I start to straighten my knees and stretch my arms out to the side again. And I really, really feel it here. So try to relax your organs. You might notice that sometimes when you do forward folding work, that you tend to over contract or over squeeze your abdominal muscles. And a little bit of core work is always required for forward folding. But in this sense, when we're using the wall, we want to make the stretch a little bit more passive. So sometimes I kind of think of letting my internal organs fall into the cavity of my rib cage. It sounds a little weird, but that's kind of like what I feel like is happening. It's like a vacuuming, suctioning feeling from the lower abdomen going up into my ribs. And once you've stayed in one position for a few breaths, maybe you feel like you can go deeper, so of course feel free. And just continue to stretch the back of your knees, the back of your legs. And also maybe lift your kneecaps up and squeeze the top of your thighs just to protect your knees. And again, make sure you're rooting down through all 4 corners of your feet. We're going to stay here for 2 more breaths. 1 more. Okay, and then to come out, you want to bend your knees first. And then just slowly inch your way out. Okay, and now coming onto your knees, and stretching into the shoulders now. So have your knees some distance away from the wall. And then you place your hands up the wall with your hands at about shoulder distance apart, so long as your arms can stay straight. And then from here, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, push your bum back and let your head drop down between your arms, stretching into your upper back and into your shoulders. Pull your navel into the spine and then tuck your tailbone under. so that the stretch doesn't necessarily go towards the lower back, but it goes more in towards the shoulders and in towards the upper back. And really, you want to create this dangling feeling. And the more you use your breath, the more the exhale will help you to deflate your body down towards the floor. And if you're going further, as you start to go down further in towards the shoulders, you might notice your head going closer to the wall. So just take it to where you can. Make sure you can still breathe. Make sure your face can stay somewhat relaxed so that you're finding a balance between effort and effortlessness. Sometimes I like to think of when I practice, I want to practice to a point where I know I can come back tomorrow. So I don't need to kill myself or break myself right now. I'm just doing just enough. So 2 more breaths in this shoulder stretch. 1 more. And then press your hands into the wall and roll your spine out. Tuck your chin into the chest to come out. So moving on into the shoulders or slightly towards the chest area. Stretch your left arm into the wall or any arm that's you're on. And you want to keep the hand and the arm at about shoulder height. Then from there, you turn your knees into the opposite direction and move your shoulder towards the wall, rotating the shoulder head in. And from there, you take the opposite shoulder and you push it away from the wall. So you could put your hand onto your leg or your hand to the wall to help you to twist. Tilt your head back slightly away from the wall. And then switching to the other side. So arm in line with the shoulder, turn the shoulder in, lean into the wall, and turn away. Tilt your head away from the wall as well. And then coming back out. And now moving on to the hips. So go ahead to lie down onto your back. So to bring your bum closer to the wall, the best way is to first bring your side body into the wall, and then you swing your legs up, and then lay down. And if you still need to bring your bum closer to the wall, then I gotta scoot your butt in. If the hamstrings are tighter, you might notice that your lower back is either lifting. So if that's happening, then bring yourself further away from the wall until the legs can kind of be straight so that at least your bum can relax onto the floor. Then once you've found your position, go ahead to bend your right ankle or your right knee to place your right ankle on top of your left thigh so that your shin is parallel to the roof. And then from there, flex the right foot so your leg looks kind of like a number 4. And you can either stay here and focus on pressing your right knee towards the wall, or bend your left knee down in towards your chest so the left foot becomes flat, and then you'll start to feel the stretch to the outside of your right hip. So this is a really great passive way to do a pigeon pose, a wall pigeon. Or if you find that when you do pigeon on the floor, it's just not working, you feel like you have to put too many blocks underneath your hips, then this is another great alternative. So we're going to stay here for 3 more breaths, and as usual, if you still need to stay longer in any of these poses, feel free. One more breath. Maybe walk your foot a little bit lower. Okay, and then switching sides. So just go ahead to straighten your legs and then bend your left knee and bend your right knee. Slide the foot down and take rest in your wall pigeon. Grounding your lower back and your bum down towards the floor. Relaxing your abdomen and trying to keep your knee away from the floor, the left knee. Allowing the stretch to go deeper into the left outer hip. Sometimes we create resistance or we fight against a stretch. So allow it to happen. One more breath. And then go ahead to straighten both legs up the wall. And then this time we're going to bend both knees and we're going to do a different type of wall squat. So it's a reclined wall squat. You have your knees and your feet bent, and then you start to walk your feet open out to the side. And then you have your heels slightly further out than your knees and your toes faced in kind of like a 45-degree angle. And you might notice it kind of looks like a squat. So to take it a little bit deeper, bring your arms onto the inside of your knees, and as you add some pressure into the inner knees, that's when you'll start to feel the stretch deep into the hips and a little bit into the inner thighs. So place your hands any way that feels suitable and comfortable. And just stay for a few deep breaths. Allowing the weight of your arms and for gravity to do the majority of the work. Three more breaths. One more. And then bring your legs back together. And straighten your legs up the wall. And just simply keep your legs up the wall and relax. So those were a few stretches that you can do with the wall, and they're really great to do when you just feel like you want to do something a little bit more relaxing, a little bit more passive. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.